Chevy trucks. More dependability awards for trucks than any other brand, according to J.D. Power. And Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
I have active psoriatic arthritis, but with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready for this moment. Along with clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And it's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Hey everyone, welcome to Camping with Steve. This one has been on my list for about 40 years. I'm going to camp in a blanket fort in an actual campground. I didn't expect so much snow, but this video was planned ahead of time, so I'm doing it anyways. I'm not going to wait for the snow to melt. Got to go find some blankets from the thrift store.
Okay, put that.
You bet.
4864.
Perfect colors. Found a good spot, paid the fine, time to go camping. I found the perfect campsite. The trees are just where I want them to be to set up this blanket fort. But on the other side of that log, there's a walking trail, and people were literally just walking past there. That'll be a good 10 feet from where the front of my tent is, and I don't want to scare people. There's a fine line between this looking creepy and whimsical, and I want to look like I'm out here having fun and not setting up an encampment. So, with no further ado, let's find out where this ridge line is going to go and what type of a height. I'm guessing probably about that high because I'm using queen size sheets. And if they come down at a nice angle, it should work. To safeguard the tree, I'm using hammock straps around it, and then we'll ratchet strap nice and tight between these trees and set up right here. That looks good to me. So keep all the blankets nice and clean. To start with, we'll string up my favorite one. This one has all the nice canoes and everything. It's really aggressive clamps. Like, use these for your clothesline if you live in tornado country. this blanket I find exudes a beautiful forest green. I'm not using these as bedding, it's strictly shelter. But if I was, I'd be washing these because it's got that thrift store smell to it, which some people might like, but it's always good practice to wash these things after you buy them. I can't believe this is true, but I've slept in worse. See if I can get a wall up here. Yeah. Looks are starting to roll in from the serious campers here. Has anybody seen a grown man sleeping in a blanket fort before? Hello. We're all out of tents. Thank you. Will do. I'll put down this sleeping bag. Opened up is kind of a nice floor. Definitely seems cozy in here. It's nice and quiet too. Blocks out the noise of the neighbors. I like this. Deluxe air mattress tonight. My hip was destroyed after that last camping trip, so I deserve a nice, relaxing night on the gourmet, self-inflating air mattress. I'll put the door on the front of it here before bed for sure, because the trail is right there. And this is a fine little home. Cheers, everybody. See, all you need is a couple of ratchet straps, a few blankets, and some really aggressive clothespins. You got yourself a makeshift tent right there. There's good, wholesome, normal campers over there with fancy gear and campers. And to show you how close I am to the walking trail, like that's it here. And we're going to walk down it because it goes to the beach. But yeah. We are on the walking trail, and if somebody walks by, that's what they see. Good thing I don't have to be stealthy here. I can see how you could spend hours going for a long walk on the beach, but it's not going to get the snow off the picnic table. I get ready for dinner eventually, and in the daylight, it's a good time to do it. I drop stuff in the dark. Had to blast a little white noise because the folks in the other campsite are playing copyrighted music, and YouTube doesn't like that one bit. But we get a fire going, and hopefully they tucker themselves out, and we can get back to the soothing sounds of the ocean beside us. They've turned down the music, so that's great. They're still talking a little loud, but I don't mind that. Got my flashlights down before it's too dark. Garlic bread, because I'm having salad tonight. The ingredients are in the car so that they don't freeze. I've got lettuce and cucumbers, whatever's supposed to go in the salad. It's right around freezing, so 0 Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Walk in the park, guys. It's actually very warm, or it feels warmer out of the wind inside of here. And I'll get another part on the front clipped on here relatively shortly. But until bedtime, I like to see the fire right there. Doesn't get any better than this. I never thought I would be unironically guys eat shallot. Just doing a simple halibut salad with white wine cream sauce. Of course, it's not quite camping with Steve unless you're glazing your pan-fried halibut pan with a little Pinot Grigio. Shallots. White wine vinegar. That one's still, yeah. Let it reduce. I'll let this cool down before I throw a bunch of cream in here. Got this spring mix with spinach in it. It's only half frozen, so that's pretty good. Oh, I don't know what any of this is. It's okay. Well, that's what I'm dealing with. I'm gonna put in some more familiar friends. This is what I'm making myself eat tonight. These leaves look like something I would be weeding out of the garden, but they don't taste bad. The fish is delicious. Pretty successful night. Ate healthy, which is something new. And I'm gonna try to peg up the front of this tent here. Oh, got my thumb there a little bit. Blanket tent is incredibly cozy. Right at the door. Fire over there. And forest. Blankies everywhere. Really cozy. Wish I did this 35 years ago. It is amazing. Almost like blackout curtains. I'm not going to know exactly what time it is in the morning, but when I get up, we'll start the day and see what happens. Thanks for following along. I'm going to shut this light off here and hit the hay. See you guys in the morning. Good morning. From now on, I'm camping in blanket forts. This is awesome. It's enough insulation that it keeps you pretty warm, keeps the sound down to a minimum. You still get that feeling of fresh air and crispness. This is thoroughly enjoyable. And yeah, you don't need much to go camping, just some blankets and a ratchet strap and some clothespins, really. I wouldn't do it in mosquito territory or if it's raining, but this was great. Looks like there's some snow starting to fall, and I'm just going to cook some quick breakfast here. I was going to cook a quick brunch and then pack up, but I think I'm going to stay another night. The blanket fort held up great, and I have nothing to do today, so why not? Make it 2 nights instead of 1, as usual. And that gives me a chance to go through and organize the car. It is so packed full of camping gear, you wouldn't believe it. Right on. The energy I need to tackle the day. I like when the syrup gets on the eggs. So I've got all this gear to organize, and you may assume that the car is empty. No, my friends, the car is not empty. There is still more stuff in the car. But we're going to condense that. I've got all this camo netting, and it's not folded up. It's just kind of stuffed in a bag. That will get smaller. There's some random tent that I haven't used yet. Little folding stool, hammock, propane pizza oven. This is all just stuff in my car. Got this hunting blind that I hope to use in a stealth camping video. It's you know, super stealthy. If I need just a little bit of camo, if I'm somewhere borderline obvious, this could be good. Other stuff in the car as well. Another mattress, and all the other cooking gear. So, where to begin? Right? This whole bunched up thing here, if it's properly folded, is this size. So, oh, we have some room. It has been an absolutely lazy day. It's actually quite relaxing. The campground's not quite deserted. I'm not the only one foolish enough to be out here in this weather. However, other people have proper campers and RVs and the like. So, with all those pieces of camo knitting, I think I'm going to have to get a compression bag for them because they're so crinkled up that they're not going to fold properly. And I'll be going out next week after another video I have planned. And I'm going to be really going through and organizing the camper, trying to get stuff repaired, installing a new reverse camera on it so that I can reverse easily. With just one person, it's a little tricky to reverse a small trailer like that, especially when you don't know what you're doing, which I don't. So a little bit of practice and a camera should make that easier. There was a heavy snowfall warning issued this afternoon. I've been keeping an eye on the radar, and it doesn't look too serious. But they're saying that there could be 15 or more centimeters of snow. That could be in the neighborhood of 5 or 6 inches at worst. And not seeing it yet on the radar. I do have some seat clamps and other things I can use to reinforce the tent fortress if it comes down to that. I will tough it out though. Um, I think I can do this. Might take a lot of hunkering down, but we will see what happens with the weather. It's so far so good. The wind doesn't look too bad. Um, I'm holding off on getting the fire going for this evening. I'm just going to cook some hot dogs tonight. Nice, relaxing, ordinary night where nothing goes wrong is the plan. I am 2 days into this blanket fort, and it's holding up a lot better than a lot of homemade structures that I've made before. Good morning. Looks like a beautiful day out there, and I think it's time for me to get back to reality. I can only hide in my blanket fort for so long. I haven't seen a blanket of snow like this in a fortnight. Guess it's time to take down the blanket fort, though. How easy is it going to come down? What could be easier than this? Ta-da! So, of course, a shout out to the people who've donated to the blanket fund. Much appreciated. And yeah, this blanket I really like. Yeah, it got pretty wet, but it's okay. Off to the laundromat, and that was to be expected. Does not surprise me. And yeah, I will keep this one because it's got a bunch of nature things on it. There's both black bears and grizzly bears on here, as well as canoes, leaves, trees, the whole bit. It's actually really a surprise that there was such an appropriate blanket sitting there in the thrift store. And yeah, the other one will get redonated, but this will be good for the camper and a nice memento of my blanket fort adventure. The nice thing about wet blankets is they pack up smaller. Made it long enough to get through the night. Nothing easier than that. Yeah, there's lots of room in here. Yeah, it was a great adventure. Wanted to do this for 40 years now, so I'm glad I finally did. And please try it yourselves. That was great. I mean, you don't need a whole lot to go camping as long as it's not raining and there's not mosquitoes or snakes or anything like that. But in absolutely perfect prime conditions, that is a sensible shelter. So thank you guys for watching. Here's the awkward part. Please subscribe if you're interested in this type of thing. I'll keep it coming. And it's not always like this. It's different every week. I'll find something silly to camp in or somewhere silly to camp. That's just the name of the game in the Stunt Camping channel. So thank you all for watching. Thanks for the kind comments. And see you later. Cheers.
Lowe's knows messes are a part of life, so cleaning them up should be simple. The Maytag High Efficiency Smart Washer was designed to take on even the toughest messes, whatever flavor they may be. Shop great July 4th deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save.
At Bob's, furniture heroes like Kaylee develop the comfiest mattresses with the best materials and industry-leading warranties. In fact, the Treasure and Copper Radiance are so good they're recommended by Consumer Reports.
Oh my God! Bob's Discount Furniture.
Mm-hmm. Bedtime. Hi, I'm Greg Ovens, and this is Ovens Rocky Mountain Bushcraft. There we go. Finn found a mouse under the picnic table. Me and Finn are going to head off for 2 nights with 2 items. I know you guys want to see some survival stuff, so that's what we're going to do. I'm at one of my normal campsites here. I want to catch a couple of little pan fries before I go because I'm not going to bring any food, no bedding, no coffee, no tarp, nothing. I'm going to bring a knife, some scrap pieces of paracord, and that's all I'm bringing. And, you know, I've had some people say, well, how do you determine the priority in a survival situation? I just want to answer that question because people ask me this quite often. I mean, it's going to vary quite a bit. Let's face it, if you're in the desert, your priority is probably shade and water. This time of year, my priority today is going to be making bedding and finding shelter. I hope to get a bow drill fire going, but that may not happen today. So I want to find a shelter and make some bedding. For example, if it was winter and I'm doing this in the winter, my priority is going to be fire to keep warm and to keep dry because the cold is the biggest enemy in the winter. So it depends on where you are, what time of year. That determines the priority of the situation. I'm just going to try that little green fly that I was using at that last lake on the last adventure there. I was worried about this lake this winter because I didn't even catch. I fished it. I camped here most of the winter before our trip to Hawaii, and I fished 5, 6 times, and I didn't even get a bite. And I was wondering, what did it winter kill? But now I see them swimming around and jumping, and there's a couple of nice size pan fries, but I don't care how big they are. I just want to eat something before we head out. Bites first cast. I'm just throwing out about 10 feet of line and just let it sink. Yeah, they're jumping pretty good. We should get one with this little green fly. Now this guy's pretty tiny. I think I'll let him go. Not hook bad, I don't think. He's settle down. No, he's okay. Barely hooked. And he's only 6 inches long. I want something bigger than that. Just about had one. I got another one. That's two. I don't know. I'll let him go too, I think. He's not hooked bad either. Be nice to get something a little bigger than that. These little guys here, I don't see anything that's half decent even, but I'm gonna put my maps on. I can get a little further out. These are just very, very tiny right here off the dock. I mean, 4 to 6 inches. I don't see any big ones, so we'll get out a little further with our maps. Okay, I got one smidgen bigger. So I'm going to try to get one more of that size. I mean, this one at least is about 9 inches. Little bigger fish on the pink neps than that little fly. But that's because I can get out a little deeper where there's slightly bigger fish. It's starting to rain and I got to get on this, so I got to cook that fish. It doesn't look like it's going to pour, but I don't want all my bedding material to get wet, so I got to get on this right away. Swallowtail butterfly. This guy's not very big either, but I don't know, I can't just keep fishing. I've gone 2 days without food before, 3, 4, even 10 without food. So, not that I like it, but we'll have this guy and then head out. Not much. I gave Finn a can of food. I have permission at a private acreage to snare gophers if I get time or a chance to do that. But most important thing tonight is make a blanket and find a shelter. Just going to drive a little ways down home and leave the truck there and hike in. I think this guy is a little small to be sharing with him. He had a can of dog food, so he's fine. Pretty tasty little fish though. When the rainbow were this small, the meat is always white. It's not even pink like the big ones I got last week. I probably won't go more than a mile or 2 from the truck because if anything did happen, I can probably get back to the truck. But, you know, I don't anticipate any problems, but I guess you never know, right? A little windy, but it's not raining. Let's get our material. So I'm going to collect this grass to make a blanket. I'm going to collect a bunch of this. It's going to make a good blanket. Tie it together with the inner strands of the paracord. It's nice and dry right now. This is called ryegrass. And this is annual ryegrass. There's different types, perennial, winter, what else? Italian, blue.
Intermediate ryegrass, cereal ryegrass, Specialolia ryegrass, Russian wild ryegrass, Marshall ryegrass. That's about it.
There's so many varieties of grass, it's ridiculous, thousands. But it's related to wheat. Hopefully you can see. Now you can make flour out of the seeds, but the seeds are so small. I mean, to make a loaf of bread, I don't know, it'd probably take a month to collect enough seeds. But good bedding material. First Nations people used to weave it into baskets. This particular one here is not as big as some of them, but it's going to make great bedding. We're going to collect the whole pile of that. There's some bigger stuff back there. The other thing about this ryegrass is it always grows in big clumps like this. It doesn't spread like normal grass. It just grows in a big clump every year, unless it seeds itself and another clump grows up. So, this is nice stuff though. Well, I got quite a pile of it. I think it's enough for a blanket. If not, it's through this area where I'm going to be. But the only thing is I got to pack this to a dry spot under a tree to make my blanket. So that's one of the reasons I'm packing light as well, because I don't want to be bringing a tarp, the bedding. And you guys want to see survival stuff as well, I know. So we'll make a nice blanket out of this. Whether we have time to make a fire today remains to be seen. But at the same time, we're going to have a warm spot and build a shelter at least for tonight. This would make great bedding too. But where I'm going to end up, there's going to be moss. So that's what I'll make the bed out of. I like these survival things, even if they're short term. I'm kind of keeping my eye out for a good shelter spot as well. It'll stay dry under here. I can work on it here too. And then
Lowe's knows you want your first cookout to leave a good first impression. And with convenient same-day delivery, we'll help you make sure everything turns out awesome. Lowe's knows how to help you summer.
Bauer tools give you the confidence to take on challenging home projects. With hundreds of corded and cordless tools and accessories, Bauer is ready to deliver. Whatever you do it for less. Only at Harbor Freight.
I think what I'll do is just scout around. If it's not too far to a spot to build the shelter itself, it'd be nice just to get the material there and work on it there, instead of make it here and then go look for a shelter. It'll stay dry under all these trees here too, so. This is kind of a unique spot too. I mean, you could use this tree as the base for a shelter and run poles to these trees. Put your thatching and your roof debris shelter lie right beside this. I kind of like it, but pretty rotted. That was just the other end of that same tree, and both ends of it look like good spots to basically build a shelter. But I'd like to be a little further away, like I say here. I don't mind a little work. There's lots of big trees, and I'll find something, another big one up here that looks pretty cool. I really like the looks of this. Got a nice group of trees here. It is a little bit sprinkling out, but I don't know. We'll see. We got to find a spot. We can't just roam around looking for a spot either. We got this really big ponderosa with lots of branches and needles on top. And then we got a group of 3 trees. We got a ravine right here. And that gives me an idea too. And I don't part of the creek. So we should have everything here. I think this is a good spot. This would be a perfect spot for a bed. The only problem, there's a lot of needles if we'd have to make a fire pit, but I'm not going to get a fire going likely today. I'm just going to rely on the blanket probably. But I like this. I don't think even if it was raining, we'd get wet in here. I think this is a good spot. Clean it up. Collect some moss. Some moss for the bed. I think this is okay. And I see lots of wild onions right on the hill here too. Perfect. It's windy enough that I pretty much have to wear my coat even. I don't know what the date is. Near the middle of May. I think it's past the middle of May. I don't keep track of dates that much. Anyways, we'll get our grass and get it over there and make our blanket. I thought about this tree here too. This big fir behind me. And it would probably stay dry under here too. So that would have been a good bet too. But I think I found the best spot, because tomorrow if I can get a fire going, there's a little trick I want to show you too. So for what I want to do, where I'm gonna set up is even better than here, I think. But there was lots of different spots I could have set up for sure. Come on, Finn. Wasn't that special? I always carry my knife in my back pocket. I just find that if you carry it on your belt, it's caught on stuff and you can trip. Actually, I hurt my knee on the river adventure. I just stepped the wrong way and this knee has been bad for years, like doing drywall. And sometimes it just gives right out on me for no reason. That little fall there didn't help my knee. I banged up a little bit on the other leg too. Show you a couple scrapes anyway. I don't know if this is blowing in bad weather or good weather. I mean, I see blue sky, so it could even be a good sign. It actually could be a good sign. Might just blow this stuff right through and then we'll get nice weather. But I actually hope it rains, because then you can see that this is going to be good. It's going to pull inner strand out of our paracord. Like I say, I just got a few little chunks. It's going to take a bit of time. This is quite a bit. Tie it together. The wind's not helping. Blowing stuff. And then just keep making more bundles, tying together. I might need a bit more, but it's not far to go get more. I mean, it seems like I got lots, but it's hard to say. I'm just going to tie them together like that. And then see how long we need it. 6 feet would be good. This is actually a lot quicker and easier to make than the old man's beard blanket that I made last year. So I've got 6 rows tied together. And I think I only need one more row at the top end, because this is like almost 3 feet long as it is. Well, the blanket's coming around for sure. But that wind actually blew in rain. It's starting to rain, but I'm confident that it's going to stay dry under here. So I'm going to show you a survival hack for obtaining water when it's raining. I got no tarp to collect water. I don't have a pot. So here's what I'm going to do. My coat is pretty warm. I'm going to sacrifice my shirt. We're going to put it out in the rain and collect water. My shirt really has no great value as far as keeping me warm. The coat is adequate. Who knows how far the creek is? Let's just say that you're in an area, it's raining, but you have no way of collecting water. That's how you can do it. I'm sure it's going to get good and wet, and then we got water. It kind of quit raining now. The rain is kind of come and gone. I don't know if the shirt's wet enough, but I think you get the idea of in emergency, you got no way to collect water, use your shirt. You know when a shirt's soaking wet, how much water you can usually wring out of it. But I don't know if it actually rained enough. It wasn't pouring rain, but it's been steady for the last hour and a half or so. We'll see. Well, definitely wet. Wetter in spots than other spots. Here, can't really get anything out of it. It's wetter down here though. Well, the edge that was hanging over on the bottom, of course the water's going to go to the bottom. It's time to do laundry. Tasted like muddy water. But you get the idea. Well, I can probably get it. Oh, hopefully you can see. Now, if you're in the desert and it's a little bit rainy, but there's absolutely nowhere that the water collects, like it's sand and it's just disappearing, just keep these little tricks in mind. You can't go very long without water. You can go quite a long time without food, but not without water. So, a little survival hack. You're not going to get tons of water, but if it's pouring rain, you can keep putting the shirt out there, maybe wash it first, and then use this trick. But you get the idea. Well, we'll get on this project. We have a few onions here. Pretty hungry. But we got a plan. I'm just thinking things over here. Well, now that I've showed you that trick, the sun's even wanting to come out a bit, so we'll just dry it out. Then I can put it back on. So now we've got a real rainstorm. It's just coming down in torrents. And under here, dry. So we just had a downpour for 20 minutes, just torrential. And so now my shirt's not going to be dry. Now I can probably show you a little more effectively how much water you can get out of it. Torrential, look, it's even dripping. And wind. See, now this is more like what I was talking about, not that little rain we had for an hour. See? Big difference. Yeah, the water looks a little dirty. But anyway, something else you can do now after a rainstorm, and in deserts you can do this as well. You know, places where there's dew at night because hot in the day, cools down, and you get dew on the leaves and the grass. You can use a shirt and go around and get the moisture. See the just dripping? And you get the moisture off of the vegetation to do the same thing. So keep these things in mind. So despite that torrential rain for half hour, and it's been raining almost all day too, off and on. Dry under here. My grass stayed dry, everything. Basically what I'm going to do is make my blanket in 2 parts. I've got this tied together. So basically I'll make another part like this, and one will go down on my feet, and I'll put the other one up here. And it's certainly going to be a lot better than having no blanket at nighttime. See, there's no point going to collect moss now. I wanted to make a moss bed. The moss is going to be soaking wet. So a waste of a procedure at this time until it dries out. So now that I'm almost done the blanket and it quit raining temporarily, I'll find my bow drill parts to at least put under the trees here to keep them dry or dry them out for tomorrow. So you got to think about what procedure is practical. I'm better off collecting bow drill parts than trying to collect wet moss that I can't use anyway. So get rid of some of this garbage. Pine cones, sticks. And I even had some, I even got grass left over, which I'll just lie on. So here's the second part. I mean, this is going to be quite adequate for a blanket. I mean, even the one almost covers me. So, and I got this extra grass. It's bone dry under here. So I don't have to build a shelter. But I do want to show you another trick tomorrow as far as a bed situation. But I'm going to get my bow drill parts. I'm running out of daylight. But you know what? I'm happy with this. I can actually feel, I can even feel the warmth of it. Like it's, well, it's like 3 inches thick. There's not really any gaps, and the grass is like fluffy. It's going to be perfectly warm. Yeah, I'm going to get covered in little bits of straw, but who cares? Going behind the bow drill parts. At least it's not pouring rain now, so. I don't know which way to go, but anyway, we've got pine, we've got fir, ponderosa pine, lodgepole pine, fir, and I think I saw some spruce, but we'll find our parts and then dry them out overnight under the tree. A nice looking bowl here, piece of birch. Got a nice bend to it. A lot harder doing everything with a knife instead of a saw. Obviously. It's got a nice shape to it though. Nice bend. This larch is coming out in bud now. And these little buds, they make a great tea. You can add them to casseroles. I just eat them. They taste quite good when they're tender and young like this. As they get older, the tea's fine. But try the buds on the new larch. I think you'll like it. Tasty little snack. I think this will do for our drill. I'm not sure what kind of wood, but it's got a couple of really nice straight spots here and here. I think this will do. Okay. And here for my fireboard, this looks like a really big lodgepole pine. and it's been falling for quite a while. I might be able to get something for the fireboard. Hopefully. Nice to get this piece. Just want the big one here though. There. You know, I don't care what people say. I think that is fir, but you don't have to use the same wood for your fireboard as your drill. This will work just fine. I mix and match woods for bow drills all the time. Mission accomplished. Actually, this is pretty soft here. A drill, which I think is fir, the pine, and the fireboard, and my bow. Keep them under the tree for the night. So, we'll see you in the morning. This is going to be perfectly adequate even without a fire. I'm not really that hungry. There's onions here, but I don't know. I don't seem to get hungry for the first 3 days on an outing. A little bit thirsty. Probably have to find the creek tomorrow. But I'm actually looking forward to this grass blanket situation. I can tell. I can put this one sideways even. Okay, and then I got pillow. Fan. Come on, bedtime. Don't knock the camera on. Hey, I don't. Oh, what boys? Okay, you're smashing me now. Okay, look out. Just let me get some sleep. I don't know what time it is. It's getting later. The sun's just about down. It's been a long day. I don't even know what day it is actually. It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. But tomorrow's another day. Oh yeah, this, you know what? I can feel the warmth out of this. I can. No, it's been. No, get out of here. No, thank you. Morning. So, I'll tell you, that was pretty comfortable. Boy, dry and warm. I got things to do today. I want to show you another trick here, so let me get up. But I think I got to get to the creek, get Finn some water, get some water myself. Pretty thirsty. That water out of the shirt was not. That's a.
This is the new Dell AI PC with Intel inside. It helps save you time because it does all your busy work for you, so you can get busy doing what you want to do.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. Is it in you?
It's Macy's July 4th sale. Celebrate our lowest prices of summer. Like up to 60% off our exclusive Bradley sectional, outdoor sets, and more with white glove delivery. Shop now and pay over time with great financing options. Going on now at Macy's.
The 4th of July is about dazzling spectacle. And what's more dazzling than a $7.99 bedroom set?
$7.99 bedroom sets?
You got it. Check out this brand new Cascade bedroom. The Farmhouse Calvin with chevron detail. The best-selling Betty with gorgeous hardware. And the Solitude with faux marble inlay, all $7.99 or less. There's even interest-free financing when you pay in 4 installments.
You think of everything.
That's my forte.
Don't miss Bob's 4 for the 4th celebration.
Oh, my God.
survival thing. I'll just go to the creek. But cool trick. That tastes a lot better. Oh, cold. Hurts your hands. But usually there's more water than this. It's just trickle. But we haven't got to runoff time yet. We're past the middle of May. And runoff hasn't even started. It's been very cold, wet May. So, Finn, where'd he go? Finn! Oh, looking for sticks. Come on, get some water. So there's no way I can have a fire. There's like a foot thick of just dry pine needles. This is not a place to have a fire. You'd start a forest fire like nothing. But what I want to do is clean as many away as I can. Put a nice platform of rocks. If I can get my fire going, I'll have the fire somewhere else. Heat up some rocks to put on the other rocks, because then they won't ignite the needles. And then build a platform and make my moss bed. That's what I want to do. So, it's going to be a lot of cleaning. And a lot of collecting the rocks. Because we cannot afford to catch these needles on fire. But once I get my layer of rocks, the other hot rocks are never going to heat the lower ones up enough to ignite the needles. And I only probably need 3 or 4 hot rocks on my moss bed platform. I think the moss will be dry enough now. Should be creating a windbreak actually. I'll put these in here between these 2 trees. So now I got about a 4-foot windbreak all around. Shove the needles in between this tree, that tree, in between here, and on that side. So now where my bed's going to be, I got a nice windbreak now. Instead of wasting the needles and just throwing them away, why not pile them up and make a windbreak? About here, where I want my rocks, I'm going to take a big flat guy. All I need is 2 big rocks underneath my bed. We don't want them rolling off. I'm going to put rocks around it so that the hot rocks don't roll out of there. Be a disaster. Hot rock rolled into the needles and caught them on fire. And I say all I need is 2 hot rocks, and it's going to throw so much heat, it's ridiculous. And it can sit right there, and it won't be a fire hazard. Well, I gotta collect more of these, but I'm gonna have to brace this in the middle, but figure out a length. probably have to put a brace in the middle. It could break. Oh, right away. Need something stronger. Brace this one. Wide enough, but this will have to be braced too. Little low. Got a little hole here. Fancy little brace. Now, if I can sit on it in the middle, well, the branch broke again. When you don't have a saw or an axe or anything, you're just trying to find stuff that works that you find on the ground. Everything takes longer without an axe or the proper tools. Okay, whatever. Find another one. This one's so. Well, I'm having trouble finding another brace as nice as this one, but I'm finding more poles. So I'll just put more poles this way and take the weight off that way. I think this one will work. Definitely always a way. Put this one in the middle. And it's thicker too, so then yeah, I think this will work because now I just gotta line it with my cross ones and then go get my moss. And I'll be styling tonight. I don't care if some of them are longer either. I'm gonna put them probably 3-4 inches apart. I can shove some of these ends right tight to my windbreak to kind of hold it too. That's a bit long. And like I say, now the moss will hold these in place once we put the moss on. I'm going to collect some of this dry rotted stump here too for my bow drill for later. There's not really much for moss in this area. There's a bigger creek down here. I'm going to go down near the creek is usually where the thicker moss is. So a bit of a hike. We'll have to pack it a little ways, maybe even 2 trips, but we got to get our moss, get our bed done, and then get our fire. So now you get down by the creek, you can probably hear it. And night and day from up where the shelter is, it's open area, big ponderosa pine and fir. And down here it changes. Now we got our moss and it changes. There's some birch, spruce. And like I say, it just night and day along the creeks compared to the hillsides where the ponderosas and open country is. It's quite something how it can change so quick. And the only other problem is it just keeps raining off and on, and our moss is pretty wet. So, you know, nice moss, but pretty wet. We're gonna have to just try to dry it out if the sun comes out, which it does off and on. My shirt's still not dry. But when we get the bed set up, then what we can do is put our hot rocks early and just try to dry this moss out. Come on, get some water. Come on, there's no water at camp. Get some water. We'll take it swimming some more. It's about as much as I can carry. Probably just use my coat upside down to carry it. It's a lot heavier now that it's been raining so much. It's just wet. And that's going to be heavy. Okay. All right, then. Let's get back. Get this up here drying. I'll put my coat back on. Still pretty wet. This moss is not the best for dry. A little damp in spots, but it's going to have to do. And the rocks will dry it, but how fast? I have it spread out now while I'm trying to get the fire going. Probably better. Rail quicker this way, spreading it out at least. I have some extra grass and just put some of the dry grass on top. I don't know if it's going to dry out enough, but I still will have the heat coming up from underneath from the hot rocks if I ever get this fire going. Let's get on that pony trail.
With up to 40 grams of high-quality protein, Muscle Milk Pro helps rebuild muscles after exercise to help your muscles do more every day, from the ordinary days to the extraordinary days. Muscle Milk. Own your strength.
Stream Pocono, it's on Prime.
Put the power of AI into the hands of your hiring team with Greenhouse. Automate tasks from sourcing to offer so you can find quality talent with precision and make faster, more confident hiring decisions. Hire better all together with Greenhouse.
It's been taking forever just to do this project here. But it's a cool project, I must admit. This is the straightest piece. Well, more pointy on that side. And then small point, and it'll round off on its own. Too long. And shorten this too. And that'll keep this long. Ooh, birch is strong stuff. That's perfect. Okay, fire string up. Try to get this fire going, man. Well, I decided I'm going to try this dry ponderosa branch. I wasn't getting smoke right away out of this fireboard that I was using, so I'm not happy with that idea. I'm just going to see if I get smoke right away out of this guy because, you know, with a point on it like that, within about 3 or 4 strokes, you should have smoke. So I'm just assuming that wood isn't the best. We'll you should have smoke right away. And now I'm getting smoke out of the top here. Well, maybe that's not the issue. I guess all I can do is set it up and try. Friction fire, eh? Don't forget, it's been raining basically for 2 days, off and on. And now our woods could be damp and moist, and friction fire might be almost impossible. I hope not. It's fairly heavy. That's definitely going to put a lot of pressure on my drill. Drill us a hole. I do have my notch. I already cut my notch. I was starting to get smoke. I don't know. Maybe it just took a minute to dry it out. I don't know. I'm happy with it now. This is ready to go. Like that. Try to keep it straight. There. Okay. See how it all stays by itself? So now I put a piece of bark under here. I forgot to do that, so I just quickly did that. So now I can stand here